In this week's episode, we meet Johnny Gunner and his 1975 2.2 Rover P6 SC automatic in this rather fetching paprika colour with black interior. Okay, Johnny, tell us about this car.
Right, okay, so it's a 1975 Rover P6,
Yeah.
2.2 litre single carb model.
Yeah, it's a nice car, isn't it? And an unusual colour.
Yes.
What's it called?
Paprika.
Right, okay.
Paprika.
Yeah.
And they did that for the last 2 years of production, so I believe.
So it's quite a rare colour, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't see many.
No, and there's a bit of a difference between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. The Mark 2's got a slightly different raised bonnet in the middle here, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That was because of the V8 engine they put into the previous
Correct.
ones, and so they tied it in with the other cars.
Yeah.
What else is different?
So, yeah, there's a slight difference on the back lights. Obviously, the grille's different. You've got this egg crate grille, as they call it.
Yeah.
Where the Series 1s had the chrome grille. There's a few other differences on the overriders, and obviously they've kept the strip dash, which was from the Series 1.
So what have you done to the car?
Right, okay. Yeah, so new head. So that was done about a year and a half ago. All new valves and all skimmed and machined and everything. So that was done. New brake servo, that had to be done. And then radiator record, all new hoses, a new water pump. So obviously get it all working back as it should.
The great thing about this car, though, from when they came out, was the fact you can bolt bits on. The design of it is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got aluminium going on as well, haven't we?
Yeah, bonnet and boot.
Bonnet and boot,
Yeah,
but everything else can be replaced fairly easily, can't it?
It can. Everything bolts on, even all the wings come off, all unbolt, the rear quarters, the roof, all unbolts.
Which is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, and it just leaves like a skeleton.
Yeah.
That was the design of it.
Yeah. Johnny, you was telling me that these cars, you know, when you're buying them, a good test is to see what's going on underneath. And there's a simple test, isn't there?
Yeah.
Can you show us what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to talk you through it?
Yeah.
So in the rear seat, we take the swab out, which is just pulls out like that. It's quite simple.
Seats come out really easy, don't they?
Very easy.
Yeah.
Pull the sand deadening material back. And as you can see down there, you can see the condition of the inner, where the seals start and the inner chassis begins, which you can't see from underneath.
Yeah. So you advise anyone buying a P6 to check this out. This is a good place to have a look and see how the car is underneath, isn't it?
Yeah. Any rock there and any rock going further into the boot area.
Yeah.
Obviously behind the seats is the petrol tank, so it's not easy to find, but this is a good indicator.
Yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, and what they've done with on the Series 2, they put the battery in the boot because it was a legacy from the 3.5 litre. Obviously, they didn't have room to put it in under the bonnet at the front, so they kept it on the 2.2s as well. So it obviously makes the boot space a lot smaller. That's why a lot of people bought the kit to put the spare wheel on the boot.
Yeah, they fit it on the boot, don't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't. A lot of people don't like.
I'm not sure about the. Yeah, it's not that sort of car, is it?
No.
I don't know. It's sort of.
I think it makes it
a Land Rover.
That's right. It's not a Land Rover. Obviously made by Land Rover. Their parent companies, obviously Rover as well. But no, I prefer it here where it's supposed to be. As you can see, it does make the boot very small because obviously the petrol tank's behind here. That was a safety feature. There's filler caps there, as you can see. But this is what you've got. But what they say about the Rover P6 as the inside is that it's the world's only 4-door, 2-seater car because it is quite small in the back.
I noticed on your registration here you've got 6P. It's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? Just round the other way, it'd have been perfect, wouldn't it?
It would have been absolutely perfect. P6, fancy having that in your number plate.
That'd have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Johnny, you've also won an award with this car, haven't you? What have we got?
Okay, yeah. So the P6 rally 2 years ago, I took the car up to the Midlands, up in Derby, and I put it in the show, not thinking I'd get anywhere with it, because there's some lovely cars there, of course, and it won best P6 in its class. And the organiser said it had got the most votes in the whole entire history of the club that anyone had ever got before.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I knew I'd got a good car.
Yeah. Should we get this out for a drive?
Yeah.
Let's do it, let's go.
Okay.
So Johnny, let's go back to 1975, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
And the inside of this is great as well, isn't it? Tell us about the interior.
Right, so at the time it was designed, they wanted to update it and make it completely modern, where cars at the time had a lot of metal, polished metal dashboards, looked nice, but they wasn't safety friendly. So a lot of people had bad accidents with them, you know, facial injuries and stuff like that. So this was a completely new thing where we'd have a padded dashboard. All of this is all very ergonomically designed.
Yeah.
For safety in mind.
Yeah, and it looks quite modern now, particularly this strip design. It's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
The clock and dials. It looks really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine in the day it was good. You know, it's really modern.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, some of the other models like the TCs have the small twin clocks and that. A lot like that. It's a bit more sportier, but I like this.
So in its day, the competition would have been the Triumph 2000. So what do you think? A Triumph 2000 or a P6?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because when I was looking to buy another classic car, I looked at both. I looked at the Triumph 2000 and the P6.
Yeah.
Obviously, the edge for me was on the P6. I just think they're a much better car.
Right. Okay. Is that it particular about it that you think, oh, that's what makes a difference?
Yeah.
Between the two?
And I think there's more good ones of these on the road.
Right. Okay.
So I had more choice. So
Yeah. So get involved. What would you choose? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget, as always, to subscribe and stay tuned, because we're going to be doing the clunk test very shortly. Now, Johnny, tell us all about your love of the 1950s, because it goes way beyond classic cars. You've owned a few, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, I've owned many over the years. The car before this was I was in an classic American side, a 55 Fairlane, then a 56 Chevy Bel Air, lovely model, and then all a range of the Mark 1, Mark 2 consoles and Zephyr Zodiacs, all the way to a PA Cresta, Vauxhall Victor. Yeah, so
you've had a fair few.
A lot.
But your love of it goes, as I say, even deeper, because you have your own band.
Yes, that's correct.
So Johnny Gunner and the Raiders, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
It's a trio.
Yep.
1950s band. Yep. Tell us about that. How did that come about?
Okay, right. So I formed the band back in 2001. I've been a musician for years. Played in a swing band before that.
Yeah.
And a couple of other projects. And decided that I wanted to form my own band and do some authentic three-piece rockabilly trio stuff.
Yeah.
And write my own songs, which I started doing.
Brilliant. That's fantastic, isn't it? So if you want to book Johnny Gunner and the Raiders, check out the link below, and you can book a 1950s band, which is going to be amazing.
Reconsider the love we had, the happy times I want 'em back. We had to try and live apart. Well, and try and amend our broken hearts. Yes, I said try and amend our broken hearts.
Well, here we are. Time to do the clunk test. What is the clunk test, I hear you ask? That is when we shut the door and see how well it clicks in position. And I believe the P6 has got a pretty good reputation for that, hasn't it, Johnny?
Absolutely.
What do you think before we do it? What do you reckon? What rating are we going to give it, do you think?
Well, I reckon I'm confident in saying between 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Right, let's give this a go and have a little look. We're going to open the door. Fair distance away. That was pretty good clunk, actually. That was a pretty good clunk. But I believe it can be done at a much shorter distance.
It can.
Do you want to give us a demonstration?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was very good, I have to say. We're going to have to score that a 9, Johnny.
Yeah, I would say so.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think of the P6. Leave your comments in the link below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. But if you like classic car stories, then stay with Down at the Barns and watch this video.